Do you use Tailwind to schedule your pins on Pinterest? Well, today I'm going to show you a handy little trick that I use to schedule a whole month of pins in around 10 minutes or so, depending on how fast you are. This not only saves you time, but also saves you the hassle of constantly having to go back and refill your queue every time it runs out. All that coming up right now. Hey guys, welcome back to Explore Horizons. If you're new here, my name is Cassie, and on this channel we talk about all things social media marketing, blogging and online business strategies. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon so you're notified of when I upload more videos just like this one. I love Tailwind so much as it is truly a valuable tool for my Pinterest, and it has ultimately helped me so much in growing it. The best part about Tailwind is that it does the pinning for you, so you don't have to physically go onto Pinterest every single day and pin a whole bunch of pins, because that way you sometimes miss people that come on during the afternoon or during the night or whenever it is that you're not pinning, and miss out on your content. So Pinterest at least spreads it all out and keeps everything pinning and keeps your account active. The one thing that I do recommend though is that every once or twice a week, go back onto Pinterest to actually manually pin a few pins. It doesn't have to be much, but that's just to ensure that Pinterest knows you're still active and you're not just a spam account that wants to promote their account. Even though I do use Pinterest to promote my account, I also use Pinterest for finding articles and sharing other content that I love. So I'm going to jump onto my laptop and show you the way that I use it and the methods that make it fast and effective. Alright, so the first thing you'll need to do is you'll need a Tailwind account, obviously. If you don't have one, I have an affiliate link down below. And I also have a video showing you how to set up your Tailwind account if you haven't already. Once you've done that, you'll also need to install the plugin for Chrome. Now I suggest you use Chrome for this method because it is quite buggy, I found. If you use like any other browser, like I had Safari before, and I found that it didn't really work as well. So once you have them both set up, the next thing you want to do is make a few board lists. So I'm going over to my board list, and I already have heaps of board lists created. So all you need to do is just click to add a list and then just add in any boards that you want, and you can see them all down here. I like to have about 4 to 6 different boards per category, depending on how big your actual Pinterest profile is at the time. I like to spread them out into a few different sort of same niches in a way, but just the way that I set up my Pinterest account is that I have quite a few broad niches and then some narrow niches, which I hit down here. So I have a few Instagram and a few Pinterest boards as well. So then the next thing you need to do is to go over to your Pinterest. And you can either find pins by going on the search, or you can find pins by either going on a different board and stuff like that. So however you need to find pins to schedule to, then do that. So once you've gotten onto this, I like to scroll down a few times just to make sure that there's enough pins populated to be scheduled. Click on the app, and then you want to click on any that are relevant to you. So let's just say, for example, those 3 are very relevant to what I want to do. Click Go Schedule. And then I like to either do social media 1, which it should populate in a second. So here you can either add them individually or you can type in to all of them. I like to do all boards and then hit Go Schedule. I won't do it just yet because I'm just not going to click schedule for the sake of this tutorial. But then you want to do that quite a few times and click on quite a few different pins to schedule to your different board lists. So then once you have done it quite a few times, it's always best to come have a look on Tailwind to see how far down you have. This is just a really quick method, guys. If you want to look at the actual mathematical side of it, if you wanted to keep it very structured, I do have a blog post that you can check out down below. So while you're in here, check to see how many or how long you have until you've scheduled enough. You also want to keep in mind what your pinning ratio is. If you want to pin more of other people's pins and then only a few of yours, then just make sure that you keep your ratio pretty neat. And then I always recommend every single time in almost every single Pinterest video I've ever made is to always have a blog board. And this is so you have all of the pins that you've ever made for all of your articles or anything related to your business goes on here. And this is where I like to pin my pins. So just add in a few, go schedule, and then I have my own board list that is consistent of group boards and my own boards, and it's this one. So that's my own boards. And then the other one is the one with group boards as well. And it's obviously 43. It's going to take a little bit long to populate all of them, but I find that depending on how many board lists you actually have, it's best to only schedule a few that way. And then once you come over to here into Tailwind and then see how many pins you have left to schedule, and then go and schedule however many you need to. And then I like to press shuffle. Now I've already shuffled mine, so I don't need to do it again. And then that will mix everything around so it's not pinning the same thing one after the other. And the last thing to note is that anything that is locked won't be shuffled. So this is only when you have, say, this board, for example, Pinterest traffic. I'm just quickly doing this for the sake of the video. Down here, you want to go use intervals. And then you can set a different interval. You can also, if you have an article that hasn't been published yet and you've already made all the pins for it, you can schedule it to release when the article releases as well. So you don't have to fiddle around with that in the future as well. You can just set it and forget it. So set intervals and then you'll hit schedule there. And that's it. That's all you need to schedule a whole month of pins. It's super easy. Once you have a method down, of course, it's very, very easy. And also once you have Tailwind, it's also very easy because Tailwind just does everything for you. I do also always recommend to go onto Pinterest maybe once or twice a week to pin manually. By pinning manually, I mean coming over onto here and pressing the save button on a few pins, just to keep Pinterest happy and to make sure that you are still active on the actual platform and not just scheduling everything from Tailwind. So that's the end of today's tutorial. I hope you found it helpful and I hope you start saving more time using this method. I love it and I use it every single time I go back into Tailwind to schedule a whole month of pins. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon so you're notified of when I upload more videos just like this one. If you found it helpful, I'd love for you to give me a thumbs up as well so I know to make more videos just like this, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!